Doing technical fixes while you're live really kills your momentum and throws people off, so make sure you do it before you go live, test out games, and don't waste your time while live. Tip number 6, if you want to make sure you're interacting with chat as fast as possible, please turn on low latency mode. Super easy, super important to do. It's insane the amount of people who come into my stream and say, how do you reply so quick? It's low latency. Just make sure you have the internet to support it, of course. Tip number 17, subscribe to the channel. Haha, using the same joke multiple times is very funny, isn't it? That's why I'm almost at 100k subs. Tip number 17 is actually to turn on disconnect protection. If you head to your settings, you'll be able to find it pretty quickly, and this will save you. Now, you have to be using Streamlabs or OBS or another major encoding software. If your internet cuts out, then you're going to be able to have disconnect protection for at least 90 seconds while you try to get yourself back online. If you don't have this on, everyone just gets kicked straight out of the stream, essentially, and it makes it look like you're offline. It's much harder to recover from that than from disconnect protection. Tip number 18, if you are going to use a webcam, then please make sure you turn off all of the automatic settings. Turn off your autofocus, turn off your auto white balance, turn it all off and learn how to use your tools properly. I have a video on it, but essentially make sure you light yourself properly and please make sure you light your background properly. I know your room might not seem dark, but the webcams and the cameras that you guys are using are not as good as the human eye. Our eyes will adjust and make it so our rooms don't look dark. Our cameras struggle to do that, so you will look like you're streaming from a basement or some sort of weird, creepy dungeon. Please. Tip number 19 is an extra one for the cameras. Please make sure when you put your webcam on screen, make sure you put your webcam in the middle on the left or anywhere on the right. Don't put it in the top left or the bottom left. Why? It's because your thumbnail, when you look at a category, has multiple overlays there, which will block your face. You need to have your face nice and visible so people are willing to click it at an eye's glance. To choose between being on the right or being on the left, it really comes down to where your eye line is. For me, if I'm looking at my screen, my eyes run this way, which means I should be placed on the left, looking across to the right. Now, if I had my eyes looking the other way towards the wall, it would look weird and jarring. Now, if I was looking from the right to the left, I would go to the opposite side, and you can see the exact same thing. It'd be looking at the wall, so I have to turn to face this way. Bonus tip as well with your cameras, I feel like a lot of people have really large cameras in their gameplay and browsing scenes. If you hold Alt, you can just drag and make a perfect box or a square or really limit down your camera so it takes up less space. Just a bonus tip. You can actually do this with any source. Hold Alt and drag and it just crops it. It's brilliant. For my 20th tip and my last tech tip before we get into my growth tips, you may not want to hear it, but if your PC and your internet cannot stream, then stop trying to. Stop spending so much money upgrading your equipment and your internet and everything else just so you can stream and go live. You don't know if it's going to work out for you, so investing huge sums of money isn't a
Yep. Yeah, what's going on, guys? Check, check. Check, check, check. Oh yeah, check 1, 2. Check, check. チャラへチャラ胸がパチパチするほど騒ぐ元気がチャラへチャラ頭から棒の方が夢詰め込めるチャラへチャラ笑顔ウルトラ Z で今日もあいあいあいあいあい Check, check. Check, check, check. Check, check. Check, check, check. Check, check, check. Check, check.